Wanna be free of this heart, yeah. Wanna feel your arms around me. I need you more, need you here, more than I would like to admit. Let's forget about tomorrow, yeah. Should I hide away forever? Should I close my eyes and never again hold you tight, call you mine, think about you every time? I remember that it's over, yeah. You never break, you never lie, you never ever scared of the dark. So why am I the one who cries? I'm so afraid to be left behind. I think about you a lot. It's almost like I can't stop, yeah, yeah.
Guest for today, who is actually someone who recently discovered his passion for ice cream making, having been immersed in the corporate world for almost 2 decades as the Chief Executive Officer and President of Asian Vision Cable Holdings Incorporated. He graduated from the University of St. Thomas in Texas with a bachelor's degree in marketing and earned a master in entrepreneurship degree from the Asian Institute of Management. He's among the recipients of the Teeny Beanie Award in 2013 while attending a short course on ice cream making at the famed Penn State Berkeley Creamery at the Pennsylvania State University's College of Agricultural Science. Ladies and gentlemen, the brainchild behind the much raved about Carmen's Best Ice Cream. Let us all welcome Mr. Francisco Paco Magsaysay. Welcome to the show.
Hi, good morning, Giselle. Good morning to all the students watching. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you also for heeding to this interview invitation, Sir Paco. Sir Paco, we would like to know more first before we go on to the brand Carmen's Best Ice Cream. We would like to get to know more about Mr. Paco himself. Could you tell us briefly about who Mr. Paco Magsaysay is so that we would get to know Carmen's Best better, the man behind it?
Sure. Is it okay if I share a presentation?
Sure.
It's okay? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, thank you for inviting me to speak to your class. So the first question was, who is Paco Magsaysay?
Yes.
So I was born in Can you hear me? Is it clear?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. So I was born in 1968. My mom and my dad are there on the left side of the screen. I'm sitting on my mom's lap. On the right side, you can see I'm a little bit goofy even when I was a kid. In the bottom picture is my brother who passed away. His name is Ramon Magsaysay III. Kaya walang Ramon Magsaysay III because Yeah, he was named after my lolo, and he passed away in 1970. He was 3 years old.
I see.
So that's why there's no Ramon Magsaysay the third.
Mm,
So my father is former Senator June Magsaysay, the son of President Ramon Magsaysay.
yes.
But I decided to go into ice cream. So my journey is a little bit different from the journey of my father and my grandfather. So these are my three children, Jaime, the eldest, Mikey, and Carmen. We're here standing in front of our ice cream shop in Power Plant Mall. So I have three kids. And this is my granddaughter, Tali. So I'm a lolo now. And Tali is 10 months old from my 28-year-old son, Jaime, my eldest.
That's cute.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It's nice to be a lolo pala.
Oh, but you're a
When
lolo
did
at a
you
young
start?
age, ha? You seem too young pa for me. The way I
Yeah.
look at
I'm
you.
53. Yeah, I'm 53 years old na. So, nasa nagdadala lang yan.
Oo
So,
nga.
pag sanay ka
But
sa
let me know your
problema,
secret
pag sanay,
for looking young. Anyway, later.
yeah, yeah. So, the second question you asked me was, when did you start your career as a businessman?
Yes.
I actually I started working when I was 12. I was working in the gas station of my lolo on my mother's side. They own some gas stations around Manila, and I was working as a pump boy or a gas boy. So I
Oh,
started doing work, part-time work, during summer or
mhm.
sometimes after school
Mhm.
at a young age. So I started working young kasi it was something that kept me busy. Diba? I wasn't really into hanging out with friends or relatives and taking vacations left and right. I enjoyed working. I like to work. No?
Mhm.
So as a businessman, after college, I worked many jobs. I worked as a warehouse boy. I was working in a warehouse, and then I worked in a long distance company selling. This was in the U.S.
Mhm.
selling long distance because at that time, the long distance service was decentralized or demonopolized. So I was working for a startup long distance company.
Mhm.
So the mindset of being an underdog was always part of my mindset. I like
Mhm.
being an underdog. I perform better being an underdog, and
Mhm.
I'm used to being an underdog because I've been an underdog. I feel like most of my life. So when I got into the family business in the mid 90s, I worked for our family business, which is cable TV. But it was not something that I started on my own. It was something that was passed on to me, and
Mhm.
I did my best as a cable TV executive, the best I could, of course, because your family's paying you, and you have to produce. I mean, you can't just
Yes.
sit there and do nothing. But when the opportunity came for me to start my own business, about 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I decided to take the chance and do it. No? So I
Mhm.
did a career change, a 180-degree career change at the age of
Yes.
43.
Mhm.
So that's not, it was quite a big leap, a big jump for me because, I was already, my kids were going to college and, paying the tuition, everything. But doing a career change at the age of 43 was a big gamble on my part. And
Mhm.
it's when you get out of your comfort zone, that's when you really get to know yourself. That you test yourself, you test how hard you work, how hard you want to succeed.
Mhm.
When you get out of your comfort zone, so that's something that I would like to suggest to the younger people, or people like you who are in college now at 18.
Mhm.
um, go out, travel to different places around the Philippines, around to the different provinces. If you can get to travel to different countries, try to do that, because the more you open your eyes, the more you're open to different things, the better it is for you in the long run.
Mhm.
Okay. I hope I answered that question for starting your career as a businessman.
Yes, yes,
Did
you
I
did.
answer it? I
Yes,
did.
it
I did. Okay.
you did.
Yeah. So the third question is, how did you discover that your calling is for business?
Yes.
I
Very
guess even at, yeah,
for
at
you
a young age.
think na, okay, baka mag-politician 'to kasi esteemed politicians ang kanyang
Yeah,
ano, lineage.
yeah. Well, of
Mm.
course, it crossed my mind, no. But
Mm.
when I saw what it entailed, being in politics and knowing myself, you have to understand yourself first. Eh. If you
Mm.
understand yourself to be a certain person, you have to be true to yourself. That it's hard for you to be this or that, and you really are not that, right? Now, what do I say? What do I mean about it? It's about interacting with many different people that are pretty much strangers, or it's trying to sit down and meet with people you may not necessarily like for long periods of time, and dealing with people throughout the day, and I felt that that was not for me. I mean, I saw my father as a senator, and
Mm.
what he had to go through, and I really felt that it was not the life that I wanted to live. No. And at the end of the day, it's really doing something you enjoy. It's not making tons of money and this and that, because we're not making tons of money. I mean, especially now that the economy is so bad, the business climate has been so challenging. But every day that I wake up, I enjoy doing what I do because it's something that I chose uh, to do as my career, which
Right.
is ice cream and, well, dairy based, because we're now doing cheese, natural cheese.
Mm.
So if you enjoy what you do, you'll remain curious. You'll remain wanting to learn more things about what you're doing, about your craft. Even you do it on a Saturday night, on a Sunday, on holidays, it doesn't seem like it's work, or it doesn't seem like you're doing something that you don't enjoy, because you actually enjoy what you're doing.
Right.
So, and just because my father and my grandfather were politicians, it doesn't mean that I have to be a politician, right? So, oftentimes, people who have, let's say, a nurse for a mother, and they're like insisting on you being a nurse. That's because that's the life that your mother knows as a nurse, and she wants you to have that life of stability and good work. But at the end of the day, is it something that you want to do, right? Do you want to be a nurse? Do you want to be an accountant? Do you want to be an engineer? So you have to ask this of yourself, because if this is going to be your life, you're going to be doing it for the rest of your life. And I'd hate to think of doing something every day that you don't enjoy. That would
Yeah.
be
Yes.
tough. That would be very challenging. It would be
Right.
mabigat siya, diba?
Tama, tama.
So I'm sure naman at your age, at the age of 18 years old, the students who are listening to me now,
Right.
you have an idea pretty much what direction you want to go, diba? Whether you're good in sciences or good in math. Are you an introvert? Do you like to work alone, diba? Kasi if you like to work alone, or you can sit down in front of a desk for 8 to 10 hours a day, then maybe that's a type of job that you should do, because I can't sit behind the desk for 8 to 10 hours a day. I have to go out and every once in a while talk to clients or talk to people. So you have to understand yourself also, because at the end of the day, that's what you'll have to do for your work. No? You also have to think: do you want to be an entrepreneur, or do you want to be employed? You know, I
Mm.
think coming out of college, I suggest that you all work first. You all work for a company. You all see how it goes, and it's also interacting with people who are above you. Your supervisors, your managers, and you have to be humble enough to listen to them, for them to get mad at you, for them to correct you. You have to be humble. You have to be grounded when people of higher stature in the company tells you things. Kasi kung matigas ang ulo mo, even as an entrepreneur, kung matigas ang ulo mo, mahihirapan ka, 'di ba? If you're insisting on your way all the time, And then you have to deal with clients. You have to deal with resellers like I do. I have to deal with a lot of resellers. At one point, we had over 300 resellers. So you can imagine the wide range of personalities, the 300 resellers I had to deal with, right?
Yeah.
I mean, of course, for the most part, they're good and easy to deal with. But you'll also get a handful of people that are extremely hard to deal with, di ba? So kung hindi ka grounded, kung hindi ka humble, anong gagawin mo? Aawayin mo sila, di ba? Or hindi mo na sila tatawagan, di ba? So that's what I mean by you need to have your goal, you need to have of course, your values still there, meaning if they're asking so much of a discount, if they're asking all these things, there's a point that you need to drop them off. You cannot continue dealing with them because they're asking too much, di ba? But also, if it's within a certain parameter, are you gonna help them out? Are you gonna give in to them? Di ba? These are things that you need to assess as a business owner. Kasi yung mga tao mo, their mandate is to make profit for the company, di ba?
Yes.
My mandate is to continue working with the client, di ba? And if kung nahihirapan talaga sila, I will do things to continue the relationship even if it costs me a few thousand pesos, di ba? Kasi mas valuable sa akin yung relationship ko sa reseller ko in the long run than earning a few thousand pesos today or tomorrow, di ba?
Right.
So if you look at your business as a long-term business and not as a short-term, meaning trying to get every peso you can from every client and every reseller, mahirapan ka. Kasi there are a lot of other people who are willing to be more supportive of their resellers and their clients, di ba? Okay, so how did you discover that you're calling for business?
Paco, dito pa lang tayo sa part ng how did you discover calling for business. If I may just ask, Mr. Paco, I know that you are a good businessman and I've seen in your profile that you are a graduate of AIM. You have majored in entrepreneurship, right? But amongst the other possible business ventures, why ice cream? I don't know if you've answered that early on, offline, prior our interview, but let me ask again if ever I did. Why ice cream?
Okay, so I'll stop muna. I'll show myself. I got into the ice cream business because my father and his friends put up a dairy farm in 2008. So they put up a dairy farm in Laguna, in Bai, Laguna, near Erie. And I would mention earlier we were doing cable TV, broadband internet, and then my dad gets into this totally different business. So I'm like, why are you doing that? I mean, we're in broadband internet and cable TV, and you're doing something so different.
Yes, telco.
And yeah, so I also realized and I learned that you have to be open to anything, because had I not been open to that, there would be no Carmen's Best. When we make ice cream, we make it the best way we can make it. Okay, so when I tell my clients that we make ice cream the best way we can make it, and they try it, what I'm saying is the truth because it comes out in the product. Okay, now the reason why we reach 10 years is because we make ice cream in a very different way, meaning it's a different level altogether. So sana your friends and can get to try it, and kasi iba talaga yung paggawa namin ng ice cream. And normally when I do talks like this, I give out free samples because they will understand what I'm talking about based on the taste of my product or the quality of my product. And I don't think our company would have lasted 10 years if my quality was similar lang to a Selecta, a Magnolia, or an Arce. Our quality is extremely higher than theirs. That's why we've created a niche market that is willing to spend a little bit more for our ice cream because it costs a lot to make our ice cream. It's not cheap, I mean, if the big companies like Selecta, Nestle, and Arce can make ice cream the way we make it and charge low, they would do it. But they can't because it's really expensive to make our ice cream. So I hope one day all of you guys get to try it because it's really different. And may dahilan na tumagal kami ng 10 taon sa negosyo, which is rare for a startup business, no? Well, for one, I knew that I could not compete with the big guys. So who are the big guys? That's Selecta, Magnolia, Arce, Nestle, di ba? So the big guys, they have a grasp on the mass market. Okay. So for me, I did not want to hit mass market. I wanted to hit premium market. So what would that mean? We have to have product differentiation, di ba? And of course, with the product differentiation, since mas mahal gawin yung ice cream namin, we have to charge higher.
Right.
So naturally, there is a price differentiation, di ba? So people who will see our price initially and get turned off is automatically not my market, di ba? Because I will not force somebody to buy my product if they don't believe in spending more for a higher quality product.
Right,
Diba?
right.
But the people that buy our product are people who they don't eat ice cream every day or they don't even eat it every week, but they'll eat it maybe once every 2 weeks or once every 3 weeks. And the 1 or 2 times that they'll eat it every month, they want it to be very good, right? I mean, you don't eat ice cream every day. Right? I don't eat ice cream every day. But the few times that I'll eat it, maybe I'll eat it 2 or 3 times a week. I want it to be excellent. Yeah. So hindi siya yung parang ang laki-laki na. You don't need to eat a big. Kasi the reason people need to eat a lot of ice cream is because the commercial ice cream is full of air. Maraming hangin. Kaya madalas na pag nabili mo yung ice cream mo, bagsak na yung volume niya sa loob. Because they pump a lot of air in it. Meaning, the public is paying for air. Right? Right? But kami, hindi kami naglalagay ng hangin sa product. So you will get more product in our pint, but it changes the mouth feel, diba? So these are things that I would talk about if I'm talking about the quality of our ice cream is mouth feel, texture, and lasting taste, the dairy taste after, no? So these are things that a mass-produced ice cream will not talk about because they don't have texture, they don't have mouthfeel, and they don't have the qualities that we put in our ice cream. So since we cater to a niche market, we are not in all the groceries, diba? So we are just in a few groceries, and we started online delivery as well. So we deliver online. You can order through our website, and then you can order the ice cream there. But because of the pandemic, we've had to diversify our portfolio. So not only now do we have a premium ice cream, which is Carmen's Best, we have an alcohol-infused ice cream. So the ice cream that has alcohol, hindi naman yung isang o dalawang subok mo lang malalasing ka na. It's not naman like that. It's just, when you cook with alcohol, when you cook fish or pasta with white wine, when you cook mango flambe with alcohol, it enhances the taste. No?
That's for the act naman, di ba? Kumbaga, you have a niche market then kasi that differentiates your product from from commercialized brands.
Yes. Yeah. So we have Carmen's Best, and we have the J&M. So J&M stand for my 2 sons' names, Jaime and Mikey. So J&M is the alcohol-infused line. And then we have now a value line, which is supposed to compete with the big guys. Kasi kumbaga, I already got momentum. People know me as an ice cream maker. And now that I come up with a value line, which is a little bit more, less expensive, but in that category, in the category of the mass-produced ice cream, we make it taste better than the rest. Diba? So this is all going to be available through our website, thecarmensbest.com. You can order it and pay online. We have a secure payment gateway. Kasi talagang ang hirap ng negosyo ngayon. A lot of our accounts, which are B2B accounts, have either shut down or tremendously slowed down orders. So we offer our ice cream lines through our website.
I see.
Yeah.
So it's more of online style of delivery.
Selling, yeah.
Or selling. Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned about resellers. How do your resellers reach the target market?
Okay. So we were dealing with resellers when we started, which was primarily based on area. No? So if we had a reseller in Quezon City, we sort of left that area for, that certain radius for that one reseller. So depending on where the reseller is, they reach their market based on whoever is around that radius, no. But pretty much the latter part of our company's life, which is the last maybe 4 to 5 years, since meron ng following yung ice cream namin, we put naman all our resellers on the website. So yeah, and then they have different ways of selling. I mean, some people do flyers.
About that, how do they sell it to their target market? Because I understand that you seem to have two channels. One is online marketing or online selling, wherein you target the end users like us, for example, and then the other one is you have a middleman.
Yeah, you really have to explore different avenues of selling. We work with online sellers also. We did not make it exclusive to us lang because we have an online selling site, which you will see some established too. Let's say Uniqlo. Uniqlo has an online site, and you can only buy Uniqlo stuff in the Uniqlo site. You cannot buy Uniqlo from other online stores, diba? Whereas kami, we're open to sell through our own website, carmensbest.com, but we're also working with other companies that specialize in premium items or frozen goods or ice cream. So you'll find us in other online shops that offer frozen items, ice cream, or premium products. Yeah.
Nice. Mr.
Every bit helps.
What is in store for Carmen's, let's say, in 2 to 3 years time? What do you plan to do for Carmen's? Like, do you eventually want to venture into other markets? Like right now, you're catering to the high end, the premium market. Do you have any plans to go other market or differentiate your product further?
Well, I think despite the fact that we've been in business for 10 years and we feel that we've reached a certain level of awareness, there's still a lot of people who haven't tried our product. So we need to find a way to get more people to try the product, number one. Number two, with the other two lines that we've come out with, the J&M and the Arctic. Arctic is more promising because that really caters to Horeca, or hotels and restaurants. Hotels, restaurants, catering. That's what Horeca means, no? So these are pretty much the same clients as Carmen's Best. Kasi Carmen's Best is really more B2B. We did not put up shops in the different malls in Metro Manila to, it was not our way of doing business, no? Which is good. I mean, I can't imagine if I had 8 stores during the pandemic. Siguro nagsarado na kami, di ba? So it turned out to be a good thing that we didn't have a lot of shops, in the different malls, because it turned out to be a good thing, no? So even though business is very difficult, as an entrepreneur, you have to keep on thinking of the positive things, di ba? Kasi talagang nasa plano na namin mag-expand to put more stores. And this was only like 2018, 2019. We were looking at putting up stores. And, it's a good thing that we didn't push through with it. Because if we did, I don't think we'd be talking now. Sarado na kami.
Right,
diba?
right. You were able to manage the unforeseen expenses had you had your expansion way earlier.
Yeah. So, sometimes yung mga hindi mo nagagawa or yung mga hindi mo na-accomplish turns out to be a blessing in disguise, because I can't imagine, like I said, if we had 8 or 10 stores around Metro Manila and then you had to pay rent when everything shut down, because the malls were still charging rent. It's not like they stopped charging you rent. Even though the mall is closed, they're still charging you rent. So yeah, diba? I mean, even though, let's say it's a percentage.
And we know the price of lease in a mall.
Yeah, it's no joke. It's no joke. Kaya ako, if you are really a big ice cream person, no, kung mahilig ka talaga sa ice cream, hahanapin mo yung product ko.
True.
Because nobody makes ice cream the way we do, no? And I think our group of loyal customers have helped us survive all these years, and that's how loyal they are to us. Because in return, my loyalty to them is I will never lower the quality, diba? Kasi once bumaba yung quality ko, malaman nila or malasa nila, they'll leave me, diba? They'll stop buying from me. So my commitment to my clients, my customers, is to maintain the quality as much as I can, which that means survival of our business, diba?
Right.
The moment na binagsak ko yung quality niyan, yung maliit na market ko mawawala na. Mawawala na talaga yun, diba? Yeah,
yes,
so
because you are catering into a certain niche.
Yes, yeah. So you can't play around with the quality, and I think the integrity of the product is very strong. No? That's why I mentioned earlier, we're making natural cheese now, and natural cheese market is more the A market, diba? Made from fresh milk, from the milk from our farm, we make it into natural cheese.
I like that, so, natural flavor. Yeah.
So it's not Chevital, it's not because walang gatas yan. Walang gatas yung mga keso na yan. So we make natural cheese, meaning fresh from the cow. We make the cheese using an Italian rennet. So we cater to the same market with the cheese. And because that they trust me so much as an individual, because they know that the quality we make is extremely high. Many people are buying our cheese now, diba? So for me, as an entrepreneur, as a businessman, your reputation is so important because the brand is connected to you as an individual. Yeah. I don't mean to connect myself to Elon Musk or to Jeff Bezos, but the brand of Amazon is very much connected to Jeff Bezos. The brand of Tesla is very much connected to Elon Musk, right?
Right.
And when you're an entrepreneur, that's normally how it works, where the personality of the founder is very much connected to the company, diba? So the company of Carmen's Best has my DNA, and that's very important. People follow our business because of the DNA that Carmen's Best has. So you come out with a natural cheese product, which comes also from our dairy farm. They believe that if Paco makes ice cream this way, he will make cheese a certain way, and we want to eat that. We want to try it. We trust the quality, we trust the product, and we trust the process, diba? So that is what is so important. That's what has value, is your reputation to the market, diba? I think we can talk about, even bring it to politics. People have their own DNA, diba? So what type of DNA does this politician have, or that politician? And people have an idea of what they are as a person because that is their DNA, diba? So you can also relate that to business, and that is the DNA of our company. Is my DNA.
Maiba lang tayo, Mr. Paco. Sabi nga nila, di ba? Speaking of politics, you mentioned, usually daw magagaling na politician yung mga unwilling mag-serve at first.
That's true.
Yung mas magandang mag-politician, yung mga ayaw pumasok sa politics. Kasi mas may mas may heart talaga sila to serve eh.
Yeah.
Dahil walang bakit, di ba?
Yeah.
You've been in the business of Carmen's for 10 years. You were able to protect the niche that it has, the quality, the premium that it has. Now, what is your tip, Mr. Paco, for those who would like to venture into business, or those business students like my class in UST, MSMES, that's the class that I have. What are your tips for them to be successful in business or entrepreneur someday?
Well, I think it's important that they understand themselves first, because when you start a business on your own, it's going to take a lot of time and effort. Forget weekends, forget holidays. You will really put in a lot of time and effort in your startup business. And since you don't have much sales, or you haven't generated enough sales, more likely than not, you can't hire people. That means you have to do everything yourself, di ba? So, kami, nung nag-start kami ng Carmen's Best, ang ginawa ko, yung mga yaya ng mga anak ko, yung kusinera dito sa house, I asked them one day, I'm starting a business, I need help making ice cream. Are you guys willing to help me? Who among you are willing to help? I'll pay you extra, di ba? So labor is important, but the labor that you have initially might be a little bit compromised simply because you don't have the budget to pay the right wages or the right salary for the type of the quality people that you want. But since this was only the production side and I was the one really overseeing everything, we really started in my kitchen. We were doing ice cream here at night, no? So pagbalik ko from my day job, I come home at 5:36. I have dinner with the kids. And then yan, magagawa na kami ng ice cream at mga 8 o'clock, no? So 8 o'clock up to 10, 11. And then habang dumadami yung orders, umaabot na ng 1, 2 in the morning, no? When we were getting enough orders where we had to finish making ice cream at 3 or 4 in the morning, sabi ko, I need to, hindi ko na kaya to. Sabi ko, I was working till 3 or 4 in the morning, then I had to go to work the next day at 8 a.m., diba? So, yeah, so it takes a lot of dedication and commitment on a entrepreneur's part to start something from scratch. It's no joke. I mean, that's why there's not many businesses that survive, after the first 1 or 2 years, no? So 10 years is, for me, it's not only a miracle, but there's already divine intervention in something like that, no? So that means you have to take care of your people, the staff that you have. You have to treat your resellers the right way, di ba? Na hindi mo sila linoloko. And so I think, that's where the divine intervention comes. That if people see that you're doing good business, that you're not out to fool people or take advantage of people, then, you will be blessed, di ba? And I guess I was really blessed, and I've been blessed because that's how we run our business. We don't shortchange our clients. We try to support our resellers as much as we can. We want them to earn, because if they earn, they'll push our product more. Right. So it's more about them. It's more about, and people know that. I mean, when you make a very good, you bake or you cook something in your kitchen for your family, it has a lot of love and care in it, diba? Or it has your soul in it. And that's how we make our ice cream. That's why when you eat our ice cream, you will feel the soul of the company in it. That it wants to be different from everybody else. Because we cannot afford to be like everybody else because we cater to a small market.
It's
Sorry,
like
I digress.
Ice cream or a dessert talaga at home. Parang ganun ang pick up ko from you,
Yes.
Mr. Paco. That's one of your differentiator.
Yes, yeah. Parang when people eat ice cream, they say, Paco, when we were eating the ice cream last night, we were talking about you. so the brand is so connected to me that they say, how did he come up with this flavor? How do you know? So our flavors are very different. No, we don't. Number one, we don't have the typical flavors. No? Of course, it's still chocolate based, vanilla, strawberry. It's still there. No, but it's all a little bit different. It's not the traditional flavors that you find outside.
Okay, there you have it.
Yeah.
We've learned a lot, Mr. Paco Magsaysay, from your insights about business. And of course, it requires a lot of patience, like what you've said, humility and integrity to have a venture that will last for a long time, or that we will pass on as a legacy to the next generation.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Paco. We hope to invite you again in our future episodes.
Thank you.
It's great. I think about you a lot. It's almost like I can't stop. Can't stop. Yeah, yeah. It's almost like I can't stop. Yeah.